Hi, this is Mike at GameFromScratch, and welcome to week 19 of This Week in Game Development. Look back at what happened in the world of game dev for the week of March the 27th, 2016. And I'll be honest right up front. Last week was GDC, and GDC is basically the motherlode. That is when all of the announcements happen, and then for a few weeks after, not so much. So this is going to be a rather short video for the most part. Not a ton happened in this period of time, but enough did, so let's jump right in and take a look. Now, the first thing is a bit of a non-event. In fact, you could actually consider it a little bit of a rant on my behalf. But CryEngine 5 was released during the GDC, and let's just say they didn't do a good job of it. You need to actually authenticate online to download it and authenticate online to use it. And their authentication servers didn't work and continued not working until finally this week, about midpoint of the week, I got an email finally saying that CryEngine has fixed their crap, but they hadn't. And eventually, what it boils down to is if you try to log in early on, the account that you used is pretty much screwed now, so you have to go ahead and create a new one to go in. And I went ahead and did this, and I finally finished things up, and then I immediately got another login failed. This was due to something to do with their authentication process, so I had to go in and use the authentication link again to get it going. And then when I finally got CryEngine 5 downloaded and installed, I couldn't actually get it to work right. First, it was something to do with path spaces in my file path, even though that was the default it asked for. And then I fixed that, did a reinstall, download the whole thing again, and it continued not to work. At this point, I said, screw it, no CryEngine coverage. So if you guys have been waiting around for tutorials about CryEngine, you know what? I can't do tutorials for you guys if I can't get it to work myself. If the installation process is that piss poor, I don't really see much point in trying to get past that, because I will just get email after email basically saying it doesn't work. Why? And I said, well, it doesn't work. Why? Because their installation process is awful. So frankly, if you want to use CryEngine, my recommendation is use Lumberyard. And at the end of the day, in all honesty, if you're a smallish indie team, a handful of people or less, I don't see a lot of reason to use CryEngine. I don't see the upsell of CryEngine or even Lumberyard over Unity, Unreal, Godot, or the various other options that are out there. I don't see why you would want to use this lesser documented, flakier, smaller community version that's more jammed into being a first-person shooter engine than for the other options that are out there. Now, there are some business cases for doing it, but those are going to be very, very small segment of the community. So anyways, this authentication stuff is ongoing. It's supposedly fixed now, so if you want to try it again, give it another shot, but you'll basically have to recreate your account. Now, after the fact, ARM, the silicon semiconductor chip makers, the popular ARM series of GPUs is basically, or CPUs is licensed to just about everybody. They just released a book on OpenGL ES 3.x. It's technically 3.2 and 3.1 plus the Android extensions, or the Android extension pack. But it's a 6-chapter book on OpenGL programming, so definitely worth checking out. It's free PDF, about 75 pages in length. Download link is available on this website right here, on this web page right here on GameFromScratch. And once again, I will make all these links available down below. Next up, Construct. Construct is a codeless HTML5 game editor or game engine, and they just released a release 2.2.5 beta. The big things in this one are audio scheduling and web view improvements, but as you can see, there's a number of changes and bug fixes in this release as well. Speaking of incremental releases, Unreal Engine 4.11 Preview 8 has been released. Now, once again, preview releases are not meant for the general public, so tread lightly if you decide to go down that road or expect problems. As you can see, everything in this release was a bug fix. They're probably getting close enough to actually releasing 4.11 soon. One thing to be aware of is they still have that ongoing Mac issue. Seems to be an NVIDIA GPU driver bug, and you have to upgrade to El Capitan 10.11.3. 10.11.4 to work around it. So if you're on a Mac OS, you might want to be a little bit hesitant before you get into these 4.11 previews for Unreal Engine, because there is an NVIDIA GPU bug. Now, probably the biggest news of the week is Tunes is now available open source under the, what license was it? Oh, excuse me. I don't remember what license it's under. It's under one of the NewBSD. So it's under the NewBSD license, which is a fairly liberal license as far as they go. OpenToons, or Toons that it was based on, is a very popular 2D animation package. It's been used by Studio Ghibli for making a number of their products. The first of which was Princess Mononoke, or Mononoke, and I have no experience with it, if I'm honest. I don't really work in 2D. It's not really my realm or area of responsibility, but it is a 2D inking and animation package, so if 2D is what you're wanting to work with, definitely check out OpenToons. Now, Studio Ghibli actually released some extensions for OpenToons as part of this release, which is GTS. It's a scanning tool as part of OpenToons for Twain scanners, bringing in devices, making sure that your scanned work works properly. So if you're a 2D guy, definitely check that out. Now, this technically isn't a news item and technically happened sort of a week ago, but the Defold engine was released. And as you can see, I've actually done a hands-on video, I'll link this down below as well, of using Defold. Now, Defold is made by King. Yeah, that King. So the Candy Crush kind of people King, just bought by Activision King. But it is a very cool cross-platform, high-function, world editor, level editor, all that stuff built in, Lua-based 2D with 3D game engine. If you can ignore the King part, it's actually an exceptionally cool engine, and you should check it out, or at the very least, check out this video that I've made, which shows you the Defold engine in action. And basically that's about it. That is this week in game development. Now probably next week we're going to see about the same thing. It's always a little slow right after GDC because, as I said, everyone saves their releases up for GDC and then it kind of whimpers out a little bit after. So probably not a ton coming up, but stay tuned. Now, another thing I've actually got a fair number of requests for now, and I am officially looking into it, is people want to hear these in podcast form. And now, the truth of the matter is, I record this to Camtasia. It's got an audio track. I could split that out probably to whatever file format I want, or just save it straight out as an MP3 or a WAV file and encode it in some kind of a podcasting service. But truth of the matter is, I know absolutely nothing about podcasting. So if there is enough interest there, I'm going to continue researching it. I'll see if I can make a podcast or audio only version of this particular news format available to you guys. So if you guys have some suggestions on how to host or make podcasts or send things down that way, let me know in the comments and I'll take a look at it. So no promises there, but it's definitely on my radar to make the audio of these particular broadcasts available as a podcast, because as I said, I've had a number of requests for this now. So that's about it. I hope you all enjoyed. See you all soon.